So this degenerate Nazi leprechaun is back at it again. This evil, blatantly malicious, Zionist, Islamophobic leprechaun named Critical Eye MMA. And yes, he is a leprechaun. He is from Ireland. I mean, we all know what Ireland does with UNIFIL, what Ireland's ties to Fatah are, and how Fatah are Zionist collaborators. You know, again, this is who he really is. Critical Eye MMA, not only is he a Nazi, he's a dickhead. He is just a disgusting human being. And he slandered MMA Joey. MMA Joey is like one of the nicest MMA YouTubers out there. MMA Joey is one of the nicest, most genuine MMA YouTubers out there. And this little ginger gremlin from Ireland slandered MMA Joey. This little Nazi ginger gremlin slandered MMA Joey and made racial comments about him. Let's take a listen.
Am I going to be forced again to talk about the sort of thing that about our dear friend with the tiny square mustache, the Austrian painter himself, and saying that he thought he was a good guy, and then the entire world having a meltdown as a result of this? And then I had people like Batman looking to the sky and seeing the bat signal projected in the clouds. I checked my YouTube app and I had loads of comments from people who were a part of my community requesting my opinion on the Bryce Mitchell giving the verbal salutes to the Austrian painter himself. And it's necessary now for me to comment on the whole situation. So
this man literally had a video taken down because he was pushing Nazi propaganda on his channel. That says a lot about him.
I see everybody melting down. Luke Thomas, I'm not going to say anything bad about Luke Thomas in this video because...
Well, too bad, I will. Luke Thomas is a deep state operative and a liberal Zionist, and again, I hate Luke Thomas. I can't stand Luke Thomas. But again, are we really surprised that a literal Nazi won't say anything bad about deep state operative, liberal Zionist Luke Thomas?
Barbas, his little dog, I've been watching Luke Thomas since I'm...
So this man cares more about dogs than actual human beings. This man is disgusting. But again, he's from Ireland, so...
in my early 20s, I believe, and Barbas is, you know, like a character in the MMA YouTube scene that I have known longer than a lot of the participants in the YouTube MMA commentary scene. So R.I.P. Barbas, and I'm going to leave Luke Thomas alone, even though he was coming out with some cringe takes on the Bryce Mitchell situation. Also, MMA Joey looking like a trans woman with a beard with his like big round face like an Eskimo. I don't know what.
So again, he uses a racial slur against indigenous Alaskans. I actually grew up in Alaska. And, you know, many people up here don't like that word. Also, if you go to Canada, the people there don't like that word. They prefer to be called Inuvialuit in Canada and Inupiaq in Alaska. So again, this man, this Nazi, Critical Eye MMA, racially slanders MMA Joey, who's literally one of the nicest MMA YouTubers, most genuine MMA YouTubers out there. And he runs cover, and this little ginger gremlin, Critical Eye MMA, runs cover for Nazi, literal Nazi, Bryce Mitchell.
Was this guy Hispanic? Is he an Eskimo? Is he a...
Again, racially slanders MMA Joey using a racial slur.
Hasidic hand rubber. The guy looks like, imagine MMA Joey with like a tiny hat and little schwindels, I don't know, whatever they're called, the little like hand rubber locks that the Hasidics have.
What? So this he continues to racially slander MMA Joey. I mean, this is racial slander. This man is, this little ginger Nazi gremlin is racially slandering MMA Joey.
Like, if dude had a tiny hat and like a little black suit yoke and the little curls coming down his face, MMA Joey would look like a Hasid. But anyway, and he's...
Again, so he racially slanders MMA Joey and runs cover for Nazi Bryce Mitchell.
Coming out with like more Hasidic type takes, kvetching so much that Bryce Mitchell dare spit some truth to the world.
Again, so more racial slander. What MMA Joey said was literally what any other normal person would say. And actually, I have that pulled up here. Let's take a listen.
Wait, Bryce Mitchell.
Oh.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking out. UFC featherweight Bryce Mitchell dropped the first episode of his podcast a couple days ago. And on this podcast, he went into a rant about how he thinks Hitler was a good person. He denies the Holocaust. This rant that he goes on, we're going to take a look at it in this video. It's bigoted, it's anti-Semitic, it's homophobic, it's disgusting, it's reprehensible. I've lost, there's no amount of pejoratives that can describe Bryce Mitchell's podcast, the first episode. We're going to watch a couple minutes of it in this video. But luckily, Dana White did a Power Slap press conference today, so we're also going to see Dana White's response to Bryce Mitchell's comments. He made some comments at the Power Slap post-fight presser. We're going to get into that as well, but I want to start off with this. I want to jump right into it. Here's a couple teasers. We're going to watch a couple minutes, but I want to start off with a couple teasers of what you're going to hear throughout this 3 to 4 minutes that we're going to listen to of Bryce Mitchell's hour and 30-minute podcast. I can't imagine. I watched about 15 minutes of it. I can't imagine what's in the rest of it. Listen to this. This is some of the stuff you're going to hear.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, I'm not going to subject you to that because Bryce Mitchell is a dirty Southern Nazi Islamophobe Protestant who is from flyover country, so I'm not going to subject you to that. But you can see MMA Joey is like one of the nicest, most genuine MMA guys, MMA YouTubers. So for Critical Eye, for this ginger Nazi gremlin to slander MMA Joey, that's just out of bounds. And to racially slander him at that, dude, that's just out of bounds. Like, MMA Joey's not even Muslim, but he defends Bilal.
Sean Strickland is doing a series of interviews to promote UFC 312, which is an abomination of a card where he's taking on Dricus du Plessis in the rematch for the middleweight title. But in these interviews, we're going to take a look at 3 different interviews, a couple different clips from each. He admits that he is a racist, he is bigoted, he is sexist, and it's all in an attempt to get a fan base. We're going to look at that in a little bit. But on top of that, he's confronted with the fact by multiple people that he says, oh, we're going to go to the death. We're going to go to war. We're going to bleed for you guys. And then he goes out there and jabs and teeps. And it's an embarrassing fight style to have when you're claiming you're going to go to the death. But that's not all. Because he also attacks Khamzat Chimaev. He goes after Bilal Muhammad with, why don't you get on a boat and go to Palestine? Essentially attacking Bilal for being Muslim, for being Palestinian, again, which he's done multiple times. Dana White doesn't seem to call that.
And actually, I have documented that I have that receipt pulled up. I have an article pulled up. Bilal explains why he doesn't like piece of trash Sean Strickland. And I'm one of the few UFC fighters I respect is Bilal. And again, there's the Chicago connection. My dad was born in Chicago. There's the fact that my mom's Palestinian and my entire maternal lineage is Palestinian. I have my family's originally from like Yibna, Al-Jura. Where else are we from? Alid, Ramla. We're from occupied 1948 Palestine. actually pretty close to the coast, like, I don't know, maybe like a kilometer from the coast. But yeah, so again, Bilal Muhammad has called out Sean Strickland. He's called him out multiple times. And so, and here's what he says. He says, honestly, I had no care about him at all until I posted one thing about Palestine that was literally 3 years ago. Muhammad said on the Money Loyalty Legacy podcast, it's a mouthful, saying same thing. They were getting bombed, and he just commented on there when it had nothing to do with him because he likes to put his nose into stuff and get attention. And he said something like, they just need to give up. They're going to end up losing anyway. They just need to bend the knee. It was the stupidest statement ever. But he did it just to get attention, to get a comment out of myself. Someone who like that, who's sitting there laughing at people dying or making a joke out of it, it just shows what type of a person he is. He's like a piece of trash. Recently, he was crying on Theo Vaughn about his dad. You can't talk about my dad. Don't bring up my family. That's dirty when you do it. You're literally talking about kids that just got bombed that are dying, and you're making a joke of it. But when it comes back to you, it shows he has a fake tough guy mentality. Again, and then there's the whole Twitter situation with Sean Strickland making racist Zionist comments. Vilifying Hamas. But yeah, so
out. But on top of all that, he makes countless excuses for why he lost the middleweight title to Dricus du Plessis at UFC 297. And it's just a complete embarrassment from Sean Strickland. It's humiliating. Let's jump right into it. The first interview we're going to take a look at, I'm going to link all three of these down in the description. We're only going to check out one clip from this interview because I thought this clip was kind of funny. He starts talking about excuses, and then he kind of gets called out a little bit for his fight style, saying, go back to your country. Even Mick, it's crazy that there's no pushback when guys like Strickland say these ridiculous things. Listen to this.
Gold around your waist. Who do you think you defend against? What about Bilal Muhammad? He's the welterweight champ. He's got beef with you. He said he'd go up and fight you at middleweight.
Listen about the Bilal Muhammad. Fucking, where is he from? Miami, Detroit? Where the fuck is Bilal?
Chicago.
Bilal, do me a favor. Shut up. Go get on a boat. Go back to fucking Palestine. Go pick up a rock and go fucking do something. I'm so sick of hearing you fucking on the Twitter and just talking shit. Every time I fucking see you, bro, you have your fucking head down like a fucking little girl saying, you know, fucking fight me and try to fucking dry hump me, dude. You're out of here.
again, the Schmo, I don't like the Schmo. He's a Zionist. His wife's a Chinese operative. But, you know, for someone like me or someone like Bilal, there is a reason why we are in America. There is a reason why we're not back home in Palestine. Again, I'm Palestinian. My mom's Palestinian. I have family roots in Alid, Ramla, Yibna, Ajura. I have my family that still lives there, lives mostly in Alid. The rest of them are spread out in America, Pennsylvania and California mostly. I know, right? How stereotypical. Again, I'm from occupied 1948 Palestine. Most people that are from Ramallah, Al-Bireh, Qudus, they go to like Chicago, Detroit, Patterson, New Jersey. If you're from Gaza, you're probably going to go to Anaheim, right? Or you're probably in Anaheim if your family left during the Nakba or afterwards, right? Again, I've studied the Palestinian community in America a lot because my entire maternal lineage is Palestinian. So it's just disgusting because like the Nakba happened, and that's the reason why Bilal was born in Chicago. It was the reason why I was born in Anchorage. You know, it's just disgusting what Strickland's saying. Because, you know, inshallah, when Palestine is free from the river to the sea, both of us, inshallah, will be over there, back home, where we actually belong, where our genetics are from.
Get on a boat and go back to Palestine after he just clarified that he is from America. So now he's basically belittling Bilal Muhammad's ancestry while simultaneously saying, go back to your country, even though his country is America. Keep in mind, this comes from the same Sean Strickland who recently said Muslims shouldn't be allowed in America. And don't worry, for all the Sean Strickland defenders, every time I do one of these videos and people are like, man, Sean's based. Sean, you know, I love when Sean hates on the Muslims, and I say, look, this is kind of like a right-wing grifter type thing. Like, he says these extreme opinions because he gets these hyper-obsessed right-wingers who carry some of these similar opinions. He gets them to be part of his fan base. At the end of this interview, we're going to see in a second.
Again, MMA Joey is one of the smartest, kindest people in MMA YouTube. And he's being racially slandered by Critical Eye MMA. By this little ginger, Nazi, Islamophobic Irish gremlin.
He finally admits that. He's like, oh, no, I'm a bigot, I'm a sexist. You know, so all the people ready to defend him and say, oh, no, he's not. He's just joking around, man. He's a character in this community. We gave him a character in this community. He openly admits it in this very interview. Essentially, he says these ridiculous things because he partially believes them, but also because he wants to acquire a fan base. Because in reality, nobody would support a dude who goes out there, barely fights, and just jabs and teeps and tries to avoid the fight the entire time. But to make these types of comments about Bilal Muhammad are just disgusting, man. And Sean's made disgusting comment after disgusting comment after disgusting comment. And for some reason, there's a portion of the MMA fan base that's like, oh yeah, man, I love it. He's so based. Thank God he said this. You know, let's crap on Muslims simply for being Muslim. And let's talk about Bilal Muhammad and say, yeah, man, get on a boat and go back to Palestine. What a piece of shit.
Does he even know where Al-Birah is in Palestine? I'll show you where Al-Birah is. Bilal's not even from the coast. Bilal's not even from, his family's not even from the coast. Al-Birah is in Ramallah Governorate. So here's a map of the earth. This is where my family's from originally. My family's from Alid. So there's Alid, Ramallah, and then there's Yibna. That's where my family's from. Bilal's family is from, so there's Ramallah, there's Birzeit, where notable journalist Abdel Jawad Omar is from. This is where Bilal's family is from, okay? This is where Bilal's family is from originally. This is Al-Birah. This is like where Bilal's family is from originally. Like, you can see all the fences around there. Like, they're not even close to the coast, bruh. Like, this is where his family's from originally. And look, you can see there's a settlement, like, not even a kilometer, maybe like, not even 5 meters, like 2 meters. 2 meters to the, I believe, is it to the west or to the east? 2 meters to the east, maybe, if even. And you can see there's like walls around the settlement. Like, this is the reality. Like, my villages, my towns were ethnically cleansed. And like, you can see like settlements. Like, there's refugee camp nearby, another settlement. Like, another settlement nearby. Anyabrud. Is that a settlement? No, it's an actual town. But this looks like settlement. Yeah, because you see letter P. There's no letter P in Arabic. We call Palestine Palestine in Arabic. Trust me, أنا بحكي شوية عربي. مو كتير لكن أنا بحكي شوية عربي. I speak a little bit Arabic. But you can see, like, look, Like, there's actual Palestinian towns like Silwad, you know, but there's also like settlements. Kohav Hashashar, that's a settlement. Over where I'm from, like, you can see like Alid and Ramla are like totally surrounded by settlements. Kfar Habad, that's a settlement. I don't know if Bet Nehemiah is a settlement. If it's inhabited by settlers, it is a settlement, right? Or Yehud is a settlement. I don't know if that's a settlement. That's a settlement. Rejovot is a settlement. Nes Tziona is a settlement. Tzifrin's a settlement. Bir Yaakov's a settlement. So, like, and then, like I said, Ramla and Alid are getting like totally invaded by settlers. Like Alid, like 64% of the town, or no, 69.4% of the town are settlers. 30% are indigenous Palestinian Arabs. Like, I have family in Alid, and our town is getting like run by settlers, overrun by settlers. And if we want to talk about, you know, some of the other villages, you know, Al Jura, where I have family, was depopulated during the Nakba. Yibna, depopulated during the Nakba, and now there's a settlement built on it. Bet Tima was depopulated during the Nakba, ethnically cleansed during the Nakba. You know? And now many of like my family members that did stay in Palestine fled to Bet Lahias, fled to Khan Yunis, to Gaza, you know, because our towns were ethnically cleansed. You know, and that's why we're trying to liberate Palestine, man. So, yeah.
On Strickland is complete embarrassment. Next clip we're going to look at is him talking about Hamzat Chimaev, because you can tell he does not want to fight Hamzat Chimaev. But again, he's crapping on Hamzat for a crypto scam that really wasn't. I mean, it was partially a crypto scam, but it's really not what Sean's making it out to be. It was like a 10-second video that he posted, and then he ended up deleting once he realized what was going on. You can say what you will about it, okay? But my point is, if he's so upset about that, why does this guy spend the majority of his time on Twitter, on Instagram, and his post-fight speeches sucking Trump's dick, who literally did a far bigger crypto scam recently? And meanwhile, Sean is donating money to him, according to Sean. I don't know if he actually did that or not, but it's just hypocritical for him to criticize Chimaev, and then meanwhile, he's the biggest fan of somebody else. Listen to this.
Dude, I don't even consider Chimaev a man. And let me tell you why. That little like crypto scam that he had going on, I had someone approach me and say, Sean, don't quote me on this. I'm just ballparking numbers. I'll give you like $200,000 right off the start, and I'll give you like 30-40% of this. We want to make a coin of you. And the moment they said that, I was like, you're a con artist. I'm not going to do that. You're a piece of I don't give a fuck if I'll make $500,000, $1 million. I'm not going to do that. What Chimaev said, I'm going to go my fans over. So it's like, don't like Chimaev. To me, it's like, yeah, can you fight? Can you wrestle? Sure, but I don't look at you like a man, and you shouldn't look at yourself like a man either. And then like, even further.
Imagine, and then he goes on about a diatribe about the Chechnyan warlord and Hamzat's relationship with him and all this other nonsense. But imagine going on and on about a crypto scam. Meanwhile, you talk about donating money to a man who's involved in a massive crypto scam. I mean, think about how hypocritical that is. And also, it's because Sean Strickland doesn't want to fight Hamzat. And also, he just wants to find a way to shit on him because there's nothing really to shit on him for. Robert Whitaker's a can. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to hold weight with the MMA community. So he has to say, oh, yeah, man, he did a crypto scam. He did a crypto scam, which, by the way, Chimaev realized what was going on. He took it down and he fired his manager because it was his manager's fault, not his fault. Okay, and you can take that for what you will. But meanwhile, Sean's out here saying he's not a man because he did. Meanwhile, Sean Strickland in interviews has advocated for child abuse. I've covered that in other videos. We're not going to do that here.
Strickland's an evil guy. Strickland's an evil guy. And he's a Zionist. And Zionists are evil people. So yeah.
But this guy's a hypocrite. He's an embarrassment. He's a humiliation.
So you can see why a racist gremlin, a racist Nazi gremlin like Critical Eye, like this racist Nazi Irish gremlin, would racially slander MMA Joey. Right? MMA Joey's a genuine guy. Genuine guy, good YouTuber. Like, he makes legitimate content, dude. Legitimate content. Right? Like, he calls out Strickland. He calls out Bryce Mitchell. He calls out Conor McGregor. He supports Bilal. Genuine guy, nice guy. Compare him to Critical Eye. This Islamophobic Nazi gremlin. I mean, this man is literally a Nazi. So he runs cover for Nazi Bryce Mitchell. We're talking about Critical Eye MMA here, who is a degenerate ginger Nazi gremlin. He runs cover for Critical Eye MMA, or Critical Eye MMA runs cover for Nazi Bryce Mitchell, makes Islamophobic comments, and supports that weirdo Conor McGregor. Praises Nazi Elon Musk. In fact, he has 3 videos praising Nazi Elon Musk. Oh, we'll go over his community page too, because it's just disgusting. Racially slanders Khabib. Promotes ethno-nationalism. What else? More, like, makes Islamophobic propaganda videos. Vilifies Marxism. But we're not getting even to the worst of it. Like, this isn't even, the memes he posts, like, are just despicable. Dog whistles about, actually, well, we do know the word dindu is a dog whistle, stemming from AAVE. And I hate John Jones. I think John Jones is a terrible human being, but he racially dog whistles John Jones. I mean, come on, the word dindu, that's like a racial dog whistle from AAVE, right? So calling John Jones a dindu it's a racial dog whistle. And again, John Jones is a terrible person. John Jones should be banned from combat sports. Again, more Islamophobic propaganda. More Islamophobic propaganda. Again, Nazi imagery on the background of his videos. But yeah, his publications are just... So, this man, Critical Eye MMA, is a literal Nazi. This man is a literal Nazi. Again, racist propaganda. More racist propaganda. Making excuses for Zionist Nazi Elon Musk. Islamophobic meme. Like, there is a clear pattern, and here's where Critical Eye was dinged for making Nazi propaganda, basically. So, for this man, Critical Eye MMA, the racist, Islamophobic Irish gremlin, the Nazi Irish gremlin, to racially slander MMA Joey. One of the most MMA Joey is one of the most genuine, kindest, smartest YouTubers in the MMA YouTube space. Like, he's a genuine guy who makes genuine content. Like, check out his publications. Like, he has legit publications. Like, legit publications. So, yeah, legit publications. So there you go. Critical Eye, and I made a comment on Critical Eye's video. I said, you are running cover for Nazis. I said, ask him, why are you running cover for Nazis? You're a literal Nazi. Keep MMA Joey's name out your mouth, Irishman. You're a liberal Zionist Fatah supporter in disguise. You will face consequences for being a Nazi. Ireland will face consequences for Zionist normalization and supporting the Zionist subversives of Fatah. You're a literal Nazi, Irishman. You're in deep kimchi, Irishman. This man is in deep kimchi. So, again, not a good look for Critical Eye MMA. So, yeah. This man's been outed as a Nazi. So, there you go. And I mean, why would you go after like one of the most genuine, kindest people in the MMA media sphere?
Sean Strickland.
Like the one of the biggest opponent to grifters in the MMA media sphere. MMA Joey is one of the biggest opponent to grifters in the MMA sphere. And like, this guy looks cringe. This guy looks cringe, man. This disgusting Nazi. This disgusting Nazi. This ginger Irish Nazi gremlin is literally racially slandering one of the smartest, most intellectual, honest people in MMA media. And it's disgusting. It's a disgrace. It is, as Jimmy Smith would say, it is blatantly malicious. So, yeah.